Food insecurity is quite invisible in America. Truly, most people don't think about their neighbors not having enough to eat.
We're the Mat-Su Food Bank.
I am the director at the Kenai Peninsula Food Bank.
We are in Juneau, Alaska.
The food bank is dedicated to ensure that we eliminate hunger by obtaining and distributing food to nonprofit organizations that feed hungry people.
We truly serve the entire state of Alaska. We currently partner with 150 organizations. We have worked with communities from Anchorage to the tiniest of villages on the North Slope.
We serve multiple purposes. One of the things we're doing is to help eliminate hunger. We're trying to divert food from being wasted and also to help people get food that's more nutritious.
The idea of feeding people, it is extremely important to me. I am just blessed, so blessed to have the food bank. I just hope the people that come to the food bank value what the food bank is doing.
Food banks are great because you're not having to fill that dumpster up with all that food that the local store can't sell for whatever reason. Yeah, I could collect food all day and it still wouldn't be enough sometimes. As far as insecurity, yeah, there's a lot of it out there. And a lot of it could be your next door neighbor that you don't even realize the kid's not getting a good meal every day.
Millions of people rely on SNAP benefits, rely on food banks and food pantries. If all you are thinking about every day is where your next meal is coming from, how can you be expected to succeed?
Some of the challenges and uniqueness of the state of Alaska is just our massive geographical footprint.
Our service area is estimated to be about 25,000 square miles. We also have mountains, we have lakes, we have the Cook Inlet. Transportation and shipping is our biggest issue.
In Alaska, we only produce 5% of our food resources, and so for all Alaskans, we rely on food coming from outside. And so the costs are great, and the food is not always readily available, particularly in rural communities.
Food insecurity is a problem in Juneau. There are so many people here that need us, that rely on us. I think that there would be a lot more food insecurity here without the food bank.
When the COVID-19 pandemic began, it scared people, where they literally didn't know where their next meal was going to come from.
A large majority of our volunteers were what you might say in an age category that was vulnerable to COVID-19, and they stopped coming.
Food banks rely on donated product, but with the pandemic, people were running to stores, they were buying out groceries, and so the grocery donations to food banks across the country were greatly reduced at times.
We went from picking up maybe some days 4,000 or 5,000 pounds of food a day to a couple hundred pounds of food. We were averaging this winter probably 45, 50, 60 people a day, and it immediately went up to 180 to 200 a day.
A lot of people that are coming for food assistance right now are people that have been affected by COVID, and they have never had to navigate the safety network before.
People are living paycheck to paycheck, and then the pandemic began, and people lost what that paycheck was at all. So many Americans who had not relied on food pantries or food banks before are now really relying on us for their sole source of food. Alaskans are tough. We have 80 degrees in the summer and we might have 60 below in the winter. You know, it's incredible what Alaskans do for each other, and it's incredible what they do for each other in a time of need.
The first few weeks, we had people that would literally, we'd hand them food and they just burst into tears. In the same line where we'd have people waiting for food, we had people waiting to bring us food, to give us checks. I look back and it's like we're tired, but it's a good tired.
The people that tend to need something are the most generous of heart. So when you come here, you get people that might not have much, but anything they really have, they will give you to a person that's in need.
Knowing that you are impacting in people's lives, getting them to the next day, being able to provide that and fulfill that specific need in people's lives is very rewarding.
It's just satisfying to be able to do stuff that helps other people, that helps them be able to live. They don't have to be hungry at night. Their children don't have to be hungry at night. And without the food bank, I think a lot of people would be. I would, say especially during the pandemic. Well, no, not even especially during the pandemic, especially during life.
My goal is put me out of business. I'll go find something else to do, but if you put me out of business, that means all of my community is fed.
On an average year, we're distributing about 7 million pounds of food. This year, we'll distribute almost 10 million pounds. You know, through the pandemic, we have just seen how great that need is and has made us realize how much more we have to do to address food insecurity in Alaska. We will not sleep until we make sure that every child, every senior, every family is going to bed filled and fulfilled.